Welcome to another Netflix Quickie. Erased is a Japanese live-action series on Netflix based on the anime Boku Dake ga Inai Machi, which is based on the manga. It follows the main character Satoru, a manga artist who has some sort of ability which thrusts him back in time a certain amount of time so that he can stop something bad from happening. So going into this, I haven't seen the anime or read the manga, so this is my first experience experiencing Erased. So going into this, I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. You know, he goes back in time a little bit and prevents something bad from happening. This is a really cool premise that they can really do a lot of stuff with. Now, being a 12-episode series, I'm like, okay, so they can do a decent amount in 12 episodes. But he gets thrust back in time farther than ever and takes it upon himself to prevent some kidnapping/murders of a number of children. So already this is a pretty heavy subject of kidnapping, children's being kidnapped or going missing or being murdered, and there definitely is a lot of heart to this series. And really, I think that's what this series is about, more about the heart and the characters and the relationships, building up friendships, and all that, other than focusing on the super special ability of going back in time. So it's a little bit different in terms of what it focuses on. You know, most series would focus on the ability to time travel. That would be its gimmick. But this instead kind of diverts that and says, no, we're not going to focus on this special ability. We're going to focus on this character and him building up his friendships around him and relationships. So that being said, however, I do feel that the series is a little bit draggy, even though it's only 12 episodes, and I feel that they could have done a lot more with this premise and with the kidnappings and everything like that. But there's a number of times where it feels like the story kind of just either stops or actually backtracks in kind of an uninteresting way to me. Like I said, I haven't seen the anime, so I don't know what kind of differences there would be in terms of story. But speaking of the story, it's just a little bit inconsistent with pacing, I guess. So if you have seen the anime, what would make this worth your time to watch the series in a live action setting? Well, the first thing I can think of is the cinematography being really well done. Now, I can tell they borrowed a lot of shots from the anime and the manga. It's just like blatantly obvious that it's just, oh, that's probably a shot from the manga or anime. But in terms of the lighting and everything like that, I think it was perfectly adequate. And moving on to the characters, they were likable. You know, all of the characters I liked to some extent. Even the villain, I thought he was kind of interesting, even though, to be honest, it was a little bit predictable. Because they kind of try to give this mysterious vibe here. You know, who is the killer? You know, I'm gonna try to prevent the kidnappings and everything. And it's kind of like a murder mystery thing, even though they don't, like, commit to that way of going about the story. But when it comes to the actual performances and the acting, I feel was a little bit melodramatic. The Japanese performances seemed fine, but, you know, their facial expressions oftentimes were fairly blank, I guess you could say, or just not like super emotive or anything like that. It was very, very toned down. But on top of that, I actually watched the English dub for this, which I don't usually like doing. And wow, the voice actors were very, very monotone for the most part. Not to say that they were really bad, like they seemed like they fit the characters and they did the dialogue just fine, but a little bit monotone. You know, some emotion would be nice. So all in all, Erased was pretty well done. Like, I enjoyed the whole series. The pacing was a little bit off. There was a lot of times where it just really dragged, and it's only 12 episodes long. You know, this could have been condensed into like 6 episodes, I think, and just like have a little bit more story progression, you know? All in all, Erased was pretty well done. However, I did have those problems with it, and it's gonna have to be a middle of the road series for me. If you're into Japanese live action shows, I mean, this might be in your ballpark. For like a general audience who just wants to see a good show, it's got some good heart to it for sure. And some really depressing themes, which is great in kind of a weird way, but it's hard to recommend committing to a 12-episode series when there's big chunks of nothing going on, you know? So I hope this helped you decide whether or not to watch the series. If you'd like, subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing more Netflix quickies. And as always, thank you for watching and take it easy.